Part 2 of Black Lady sends a sexy photo to Korean mafia boss by mistake. By morning, he appears at her door. Part 2 continues the thrilling story of Rank and Jun-woo, with danger, romance and intense chemistry escalating in every chapter. Will she survive his world and fall for him completely? This is the mafia love story you won't forget. The morning after tension. Soft morning light slips through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Jun-woo's penthouse, brushing Rank's skin with warm gold. She blinks awake slowly, her fingers clutching the silk blanket she barely remembers pulling over herself. The room smells like cedar, expensive cologne, and something distinctly male, something distinctly him. Rank pushes herself up on her elbows. The last thing she remembers is falling asleep on his couch after the terrifying chase, after he saved her, after she accidentally sent that photo that changed everything. She looks around the penthouse. Minimalist. Beautiful. Cold. Everything screams power and money, and loneliness. Easy, a deep voice says from behind her. Rank flinches and turns. Jun-woo stands near the hallway, wearing a black shirt with the sleeves rolled up, his hair slightly messy as if he hasn't slept at all. His eyes lock onto hers, dark, unreadable, intense enough to pin her in place. You slept long, he says softly. That's good. She swallows. Where am I? My home, he answers, stepping closer. It was the safest place last night. Rank stiffens. I should go then. His jaw tightens a little, barely noticeable but there. You can't, he replies. Not yet. Why not, she snaps. Jun-woo holds her gaze, his voice calm but firm. Because after last night they now know your face. Rank's breath catches. Them? Who is them? He sighs, rubbing his palm across the back of his neck. The men who were chasing you. They don't attack at random. They follow orders. My rivals, someone sent them and that means that I'm in danger because of you. Her voice trembles. Jun-woo steps closer, slowly as though approaching a frightened animal. No, he says quietly. You're in danger because you got caught up in a world you were never supposed to see. She rises to her feet. Then let me leave that world behind. Silence. He lowers his eyes for a moment, something heavy flickering across his face before he meets her gaze again. You can't, he repeats, softer this time. Not until I eliminate the threat. Eliminate, she whispers. His world is so different. So dark. So final. He nods once. I won't let them touch you. Rank folds her arms, trying to build a wall around herself. You don't even know me. Jun-woo moves closer than before, close enough that she feels his body heat, close enough that her heartbeat picks up without permission. I know enough, he murmurs. Her breath hitches. Then she pushes past him, grabbing her bag from the table. I'm going home. You're not safe at home, he counters immediately. I'll take my chances. He steps in front of the elevator, blocking her way. Not aggressively, just immovably. His height, his shoulders, his presence, it fills the space. Rank, he says. Her name sounds different in his voice. Softer. Like he's tasting it. Please, he adds. Her eyes widen. The mafia boss is pleading? You can hate me, he says quietly. You can yell. You can leave later if you still want to. But not today. His voice drops lower, warmer. Not while they're still looking for you. Rank slowly lowers her bag. Her pulse is loud in her ears. Jun-woo steps aside, not blocking her anymore but watching her carefully. You're not my prisoner, he says. You're my responsibility. Rank lets out a shaky breath and looks at his face. Really looks. He looks tired. He looks guilty. He looks like he hasn't taken his eyes off her all night. And for a moment, just a moment, she feels something shift in the air between them. Fine, she whispers. I'll stay. Just for today. A spark flashes in his eyes, quick and unguarded. Good, he murmurs. I'll keep you safe. He walks past her, but she catches the faintest hint of a smile tugging at his lips, small, rare, and dangerous. Rank's heart thumps. She may have just made the safest decision, or the most dangerous one of her life. Rank follows Jun-woo into the sleek, sunlit kitchen of his penthouse. Marble counters, matte black cabinets, spotless appliances. Everything feels too clean, too quiet, too controlled. Like him. Jun-woo moves around the kitchen with surprising ease, sleeves rolled up, veins visible on his forearms as he prepares breakfast. He doesn't look like the terrifying mafia boss who gave orders last night. He looks calm, grounded, almost domestic. Almost. Rank sits at the kitchen island, arms folded, watching him warily. You cook? She asks, breaking the silence. Jun-woo lifts one dark brow. I can handle a few things. I had to learn early. He slides a plate toward her. Soft scrambled eggs, toast, avocado, and fruit arranged with almost artistic precision. You should eat. Ronk stares at the food, then at him. I'm not hungry. I didn't ask if you were, he replies, voice low but not harsh. You need your strength. Her breath catches. He's doing it again, caring but in that quiet, dominant, deeply unsettling way that makes her pulse quicken. She picks up the fork anyway. He watches her. Not in a creepy way, more like he's studying every small shift in her face, learning her reactions, memorizing her expressions. When she finally asks, "Why are you staring?" he answers without hesitation. "I'm making sure you're okay." Ronk almost drops her fork. Who is this man? She clears her throat. So what now? You keep me here forever? Junwoo sits across from her. He doesn't smile, but something softens in his eyes. No, he replies. Just until we're sure the men from last night can't reach you. And how long is that? He hesitates. The silence says enough. Ronk, he begins, voice low, the moment you sent that photo, someone traced it. They were already looking for weakness in my organization. They thought you were leverage. Her stomach twists. But I'm nobody. Junwoo leans forward, elbows on the table, expression sharp and serious. You are not nobody. The words hit her harder than they should. She opens her mouth to speak, but he continues. And after last night, they know you matter to me. Ronk's breath stops. Her fork freezes midair. What? I don't matter to you, she says quickly. We barely know each other. Junwoo's voice drops an octave, dangerous, intimate. I know enough. Her cheeks burn. You need to stop saying that. Why? He tilts his head. Because it makes you nervous? Ronk looks away. I just don't want to get tied up in your world. He exhales slowly, rubbing his thumb along his jaw. You're already in it, he says. And I need you to follow some rules if you want to stay alive. She swallows. What rules? Junwoo stands and walks toward her, slowly, deliberately. He stops right in front of her stool, towering over her, his presence magnetic and overwhelming. Rule number 1, he says softly. You don't leave this penthouse without me. Ronk holds her breath. Rule number 2, he continues, lifting his hand, hesitant, then gently brushing a stray curl from her cheek. You answer when I call. Immediately. Her heart pounds wildly. And rule number 3. He steps even closer, their faces inches apart. You trust me, even if you're scared. Ronk stares into his eyes. He isn't demanding, he's asking, in the only way a man like him knows how. And what do I get in return? She whispers. Junwoo's eyes soften in a way she has never seen. My protection, he says. My resources. He pauses. My word. A shiver travels down her spine. He steps back just slightly. I'll assign men to watch the building, he continues. Security will monitor everything. You'll stay in the guest room. The door doesn't lock, but you don't have to worry about me. Ronk raises a brow. Really? You sure about that? He smirks faintly, barely there but enough to make her chest tighten. I'm many things, Ronk, but I'm not a man who forces. The tension breaks just slightly. Only slightly. Fine, she says. I'll follow your rules. For now. Junwoo nods once, satisfied but not arrogant. Good, he says. Now finish your food. Ronk tries to eat, but her mind is spinning. The rules. His intensity. His protectiveness. The way he looks at her like she's a puzzle he wants to solve. She feels caught in something dangerous, something magnetic. And as Junwoo watches her from across the room, checking his phone, muttering orders in clipped Korean, Ronk realizes something that scares her more than any mafia threat. She's starting to care. Junwoo's penthouse settles into an uneasy quiet. Ronk sits on the couch, pretending to scroll through her phone, but really, she's listening. Listening to him arguing in Korean with someone through the phone in his office. His tone is sharp, clipped, deadly calm. She can't understand the words, but the vibe is unmistakable. Trouble. Big trouble. After 10 minutes, the office door opens. Junwoo steps out, his expression unreadable but his movements tense, like a man trying to control a storm inside his chest. Ronk stands. What happened? He doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he walks to the window, sliding his hands into his pockets. Ronk, someone sent me a message. Her blood runs cold. What kind of message? He turns his head slightly, eyes glinting under the sunlight. A photo. He pauses. Of you. Her knees weaken. She grips the back of the couch. What? Oh, I haven't gone anywhere. Junwoo steps closer, voice low and serious. They got it from the security camera at the pharmacy we stopped by last night. The moment they recognized you, they confirmed it again on your Instagram. Ronk's mouth falls open. My Instagram? But it's private? Private to normal people, he says. Not private to men who want leverage. Ronk's pulse skyrockets. So what now? I can't post? I can't go anywhere? I'm stuck here? Junwoo moves closer, placing his hands on her shoulders, not forceful but firm, grounding her. I know this is overwhelming. But right now, yes, you need to stay here. She tries to breathe but panic pushes into her chest. I didn't ask for any of this, she whispers. I know. His thumb brushes her shoulder gently, soothing without being invasive. But I need you to stay calm. I am calm, she snaps even though her hands are trembling. He notices, of course he notices. Without thinking, Junwoo takes her hands in his, lowering his voice. Ronk, look at me. She does. God help her, she does. I'm going to fix this, he says. You didn't cause this situation. I did. And I'm going to clean it up. Her voice cracks. How? By fighting people? By killing someone? He doesn't flinch. If I must. Her breath stutters. You can't just. It is what it is, he says quietly. My world doesn't give second chances. Ronk's eyes burn. Not with tears, but with frustration. I don't want you getting hurt because of me. For the first time, something flickers in his eyes. Surprise? Warmth? Pain? I'm already hurt, he murmurs, but not because of danger. She frowns. Then because of what? He looks away for a moment, then returns his gaze to hers, softened, controlled, yet full of something he hasn't admitted out loud. You think I didn't notice how scared you were? How you tried to hide it so you wouldn't seem weak? I don't like seeing you in fear. That's what hurts. Ronk freezes. He steps back abruptly as if he revealed more than he intended. Before she can respond, the penthouse buzzer goes off. A sharp, loud, chilling sound. Ronk jumps. Junwoo's posture shifts instantly, shoulders squared, eyes cold, hand already on the gun tucked at his back. He moves to the security screen. His jaw tightens. Ronk edges closer. Who is it? His voice loses every ounce of softness. It's Baek Jinho. Who's that? Ronk whispers. My second in command, he says. And if he's here unannounced, that means something is wrong. The elevator doors on the private floor slide open, and Baek Jinho steps out, black suit, scar on his cheek, breath heavy as if he came straight from a fight. He bows slightly to Junwoo, then glances at Ronk with a mix of surprise and concern. Boss, Jinho says, voice low. We have a problem. Ronk tenses. Another one? Jinho nods grimly. They found your building, sir. And they left a message. Junwoo's eyes sharpen. What message? Jinho hands him a small black envelope. Junwoo opens it. A single photo falls out. It's Ronk again, but this time, a red circle is drawn around her face. Underneath it, handwritten in messy Korean letters. Tell your woman to stay inside. Her time is running out. Ronk's stomach drops. Her breath vanishes. Junwoo's hand tightens around the paper until it crinkles. When he finally lifts his eyes to Ronk, they're darker than she's ever seen. Dangerous, protective, barely controlled. Ronk, he says quietly, you're not leaving my side. She swallows. Okay. No, he says, stepping close enough that she feels the heat of him. Not, okay. You stay with me. Every moment. Until this ends. Ronk nods again, smaller but firmer. All right. I stay with you. Something shifts. A bond formed not by romance yet but by danger and fate. Junwoo exhales, tension draining only slightly. Then, his hand lifts to her face, thumb brushing her cheek. Not seductive, not dominant, just human. I won't let anyone touch you, he murmurs. Not while I'm breathing. The sun sinks behind the Los Angeles skyline, flooding Junwoo's penthouse with warm orange light. Ronk stands near the window, arms wrapped around herself as she watches the city glow below. Everything feels unreal, like she stepped into a gritty K-drama, but the danger is real, not scripted. Behind her, she senses him before she hears him. Junwoo's presence is unmistakable, quiet, heavy, powerful. He stops a few feet behind her, keeping his voice low. You've been standing there for a long time. Ronk doesn't turn around. I'm thinking. About running? He asks, not accusing, just knowing. She closes her eyes. Would you blame me? He steps closer but not too close. Close enough that she feels the shift in the air, the subtle warmth of his body behind her. No, he says. But I'd stop you. Ronk finally turns, her eyes meeting his. Because of your rules? Junwoo's jaw flexes. No. Because I don't want anything to happen to you. Something sharp and warm twists inside her chest. He takes another step closer. Now they're only inches apart, his height forcing her to tilt her chin up. Ronk, he says quietly, I need you to trust me. Even if my world doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't, she admits. At all. His lips twitch, not a smile but close. I can explain some of it. She studies him. Then explain why someone wants to hurt me. He exhales, running a hand through his hair. They think hurting you will weaken me. Make me act impulsively. Make me predictable. Ronk swallows. And does it? He lifts his eyes to hers, dark and honest. Yes. Her breath catches. Your face is all over their surveillance, he continues. The men who came after me last night saw you. And now they think you're important. Ronk crosses her arms. To you? His voice is barely a whisper. Yes. A silence stretches between them, heavy, electric. But before Ronk can process it, a buzz cuts through the air. The intercom. Jun-Woo stiffens instantly, all softness disappearing as he taps the screen. A man in a black suit stands at the security camera feed below the building, holding a bouquet of pale roses. Ronk frowns. Who's that? Jun-Woo's tone goes ice cold. Trouble. She steps closer, peering over his shoulder. But he's holding flowers. It's a message, Jun-Woo mutters. They're mocking us. Ronk peers again. Is there a note? Jun-Woo zooms in on the screen. There is a note attached to the bouquet. Pretty things die first. Ronk covers her mouth. Oh my god. Jun-Woo's hands curl into fists. He speaks in Korean, sharp, angry, fast. Jinho arrives within seconds, breathless and ready. They're testing you, Jinho says. They want to see how fast you react. I'm done reacting, Jun-Woo growls. It's time we attack. Ronk steps forward, heart racing. Wait, what does that mean? Attack how? Where are you going? I'm taking care of this, he replies, already grabbing his jacket. No. Ronk grabs his arm without thinking. You said being impulsive is what they want. His body goes still. Her hand remains wrapped around his forearm, warm, trembling, desperate. Slowly he turns to face her. For once, his eyes soften first. Not his voice, not his posture. His eyes. Ronk, he says quietly, I can't sit here while they threaten you. And I can't sit here wondering if you'll come back alive, she whispers. His breath catches just a little. Enough to break his composure. He turns fully toward her. The space between them disappears as he steps closer. How do you expect me to stay, he murmurs. When someone is out there planning to hurt you? Ronk lifts her chin. Then don't leave me behind. Jun-Woo's eyes widen slightly, like he didn't expect that. I don't want to be protected from far away, she continues. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what I'm facing. I don't want you out there alone while I sit here like some fragile little. He interrupts gently. You're not fragile. His hand rises, slowly, hovering near her cheek but not touching. He's asking permission silently. Ronk doesn't move away. He brushes his fingers against her cheek, barely a whisper of contact. Heat rushes through her. You're the bravest woman I've ever met, he says softly. But I can't bring you with me. Not into that. Ronk's eyes sting, not with tears but frustration. Then what am I supposed to do? Sit here and wait for news of you? Good or bad? He steps closer, so close his breath brushes her forehead. I'll come back, he murmurs. I'll always come back to you. Ronk's heart pounds. His words settle somewhere deep, somewhere dangerous. If anything happens to you, she whispers. His thumb lightly grazes her jaw. Nothing will. Silence. Breaths too close. A pull neither of them can deny anymore. Then Jinho clears his throat. Jun-Woo steps back reluctantly, just half a step. I'll be back before midnight, he says. Don't open the door for anyone except me. Ronk bites her lip. What if someone comes pretending to be you? He pauses. Then takes her hand, softly, almost reverently, and presses it against his chest. You'll know, he says. Your heart will know. He turns and heads for the elevator, Jinho following. Ronk stands there, trembling, chest tight, heart pounding. She watches the doors close behind him. And for the first time, she's more terrified of losing him than of the danger waiting outside. The penthouse feels too big without him. Too silent. Too cold. Ronk paces the living room, checking the clock every few seconds. 11:07 p.m. He left around 7. Her heart thuds painfully with every tick of the second hand. She tries to distract herself, Netflix, scrolling, pacing, but nothing helps. Her mind keeps replaying the way he looked at her before he left. I'll come back. Your heart will know. She didn't realize how terrifying that promise could feel until she was alone. The wind howls outside the tall windows. Los Angeles glitters below, uncaring and distant. Then, thud. A sharp noise echoes from the private elevator door. Ronk freezes. Her heart leaps, hope and fear colliding at once. Junwoo, she calls softly. No answer. Her stomach drops. She steps backward slowly, her eyes locked on the elevator. Another noise. This time softer. Then a single knock. Not on the elevator door. On the penthouse door. Ronk's blood runs cold. He told her no one else should be here. Carefully, she moves toward the security monitor and taps the screen. A man in a black hoodie stands outside the entrance. Cap low. Face hidden. Not Junwoo. Not Jinho. Not anyone she recognizes. Ronk's breath trembles. She leans closer, squinting at the screen. The man lifts his head slightly, just enough for her to see a faint scar across his left cheek. He smiles. A slow, cold, deliberate smile. Ronk's heart slams against her ribs. She stumbles away from the screen. No, no, no. Her phone buzzes in her pocket. She nearly jumps out of her skin. She pulls it out. A new message from an unknown number. Open the door. You owe us a conversation. Ronk drops the phone. Her whole body is shaking. She taps the security system again. The man is still there, waiting, unmoving. Then another message. If you don't open in 10 seconds, we try something louder. Ronk swallows a sob. She backs away, scanning the penthouse for something, anything, to protect herself. Her eyes land on the kitchen knives. But before she moves, bzzzt. The lights flicker violently, then go out. Ronk gasps in darkness. Her phone lights the room faintly, shaking in her hand. She runs to the bedroom, Junwoo's, not the guest room, because it feels safer, because it smells like him, because her body moves before her mind can think. She shuts the door, leans against it, tries to breathe. Her phone buzzes again. This time the message is different. A picture. Ronk's throat closes when she sees it. A photo of Junwoo's car. The black one he drove tonight. Bullet holes in the windshield. Her vision blurs. Another message arrives. He should have minded his business. Ronk feels the world collapse under her feet. No, she whispers. No, no. Her hand flies to her mouth as a sob escapes. She starts to dial. Hands trembling so hard she almost drops the phone again. But before she presses call, the door to the penthouse slams open. Ronk gasps, stumbling back. Footsteps, heavy, fast, storming through the living room. The bedroom door handle twists. What? Twice. Ronk. A voice calls out, low, sharp, rough. Her heart stops. Ronk, open the door. The voice repeats. Sounds like him. Sounds exactly like him. But her fear is too strong. Her breathing too rapid. Her thoughts too scrambled. She presses her back against the door, shaking violently. Prove it, she whispers hoarsely. Prove it's you. Silence. Then, the voice softens. Angel. Barely above a whisper. The nickname he has never said aloud before, but once said under his breath while he carried her to the couch the night he saved her. Her eyes widen. The handle turns again, gentler this time. Open the door, he murmurs. I'm bleeding. Ronk gasps. She throws the door open. And nearly collapses. Junwoo stands there, breath ragged, shirt torn, blood running down his arm and staining the floor. But he's alive. His eyes find her instantly. You're safe, he whispers. Ronk launches herself forward, catching him just as his knees buckle. Junwoo, she cries. Oh my God, your arm, your shirt. I told you I'd come back, he murmurs, leaning his forehead against hers, breathing hard. But Ronk can feel it. His body is shaking. He's holding back pain. He's doing everything he can to stay upright. She grips him tighter. What happened? She whispers. He closes his eyes. I walked into a trap, he murmurs. They knew I'd come. Ronk's breath stutters. The photo they sent me, your car. He nods weakly. That was real. Ronk's knees nearly give out. But you're here, she says, voice breaking. You came back. I told you, he breathes, leaning heavier into her arms. I'll always come back to you. Then he finally collapses completely, consciousness slipping. And Ronk is left holding him, trembling, terrified, and realizing. This man is no longer just her protector. He is someone she can't bear to lose. Ronk had never heard silence this loud. Not even the dangerous, humming silence of Junwoo's penthouse at night. Not even the tense quiet of two men ready to kill each other over her. This silence was different, thick, personal, trembling under the weight of secrets. Junwoo stood in front of her, still catching his breath from the chase, still gripping her waist as if she might disappear again. Her back was pressed gently against the elevator wall. His forehead rested inches from hers. Their breaths mingled, warm, uneven, too honest. Junwoo never looked nervous. Ever. But right now his eyes flickered like he was fighting himself. Ronk, he said, voice low and rough. You can't keep running from me. Her throat tightened. And you can't keep scaring me like this. Something in his expression faltered. Guilt, frustration, and something far deeper. His hand lifted, slow, hesitant, and brushed a coil of her hair back behind her ear. I scared you, he murmured, eyes softening in a way she'd never seen. Because I don't know how to do this gently. Ronk frowned. Do what gently? He swallowed. Art. The Mafia boss, the feared name in Los Angeles, suddenly looked like a man trying to confess something he had never said out loud. Care about someone? Her chest tightened. He continued quietly, I grew up in a world where softness gets you killed. Where the second you show you need someone, they're used against you. Ronk's heart squeezed. He wasn't talking like the Junwoo she'd known. He wasn't giving orders. He wasn't teasing her. He wasn't dominating the moment. He was confessing. Every time you pull away, he whispered, my chest feels like it's on fire. And I don't know how to stop it. His vulnerability hit her harder than anything he'd ever said. Junwoo, she breathed. He leaned even closer. His forehead touched hers. His hand slid to her waist, not possessive this time but careful, like holding her was an honor he wasn't used to. I thought I could keep you at a distance, he admitted. I thought I could want you, without letting you matter. Her pulse hammered. But you mattered anyway. Ronk's breath caught. The elevator hummed softly around them. He lifted her hand, turning it over, staring at her palm like it was the first gentle thing he'd ever touched. I didn't come into your life to ruin it, he said, voice breaking slightly. But I can't leave it anymore either. Her heart beat. Her thoughts. Her fears. Everything tangled. She lifted her hand to his cheek. That's not fair, she whispered. You can't say things like that and expect me not to feel something. His eyes darkened with something sweet and hungry. Then feel it, he whispered. Feel everything. With me. Ronk felt her knees weaken. Junwoo dipped his head, brushing his lips against her jaw. Not a kiss, just a promise. A trembling, controlled promise. I won't touch you until you ask me to, he murmured against her skin. But I want you, Ronk. Not your body. You. Her breath shuddered. No man had ever said it that way before. Not with reverence. Not with restraint. Not with heat held tight under the skin. She finally whispered, I'm scared of what you make me feel. His lips brushed her temple. I'm scared too, he said. But I'd burn for you anyway. The elevator doors slid open with a soft ding. He didn't move. He didn't force her. He simply waited. And Ronk realized something. For the first time, the Mafia boss wasn't holding her. He was letting her choose him. The walk from the elevator to her apartment door felt strangely heavy, like every step was dragging a truth neither of them could run from anymore. Ronk's keys trembled in her hand as she unlocked the door. Junwoo stood behind her, close enough that she felt the heat of him, but not close enough to touch. He was keeping the promise he made in the elevator. I won't touch you until you ask me to. The door opened. The soft scent of vanilla candles lingered from earlier, wrapping the darkness of her apartment in a warm glow. Ronk stepped inside. Junwoo hesitated at the threshold, an unusual sight for a man who usually walked into any room like he owned the entire building. His jaw tightened. His hands rested behind his back, controlled, disciplined, waiting. Junwoo, she whispered, turning toward him. His eyes lifted to hers, dark, tender, and burning all at once. Yes, Ronk? She swallowed. He looked like a storm trying to behave. And she realized she didn't want him to stay outside her door. Not emotionally, not physically, not anymore. You can come in. He exhaled softly and stepped inside. The door clicked shut behind him, sealing the world out. For a moment they simply stood there, the air charged and fragile. Ronk watched him undo the top 2 buttons of his black shirt. Not to seduce, he just looked tense. Like being near her stretched something inside him until it hurt. Tell me what you're thinking, he said quietly. She breathed in, then out. Everything between us feels dangerous, she said. Not because of who you are, but because of how fast everything is happening. He nodded. I know. But, she continued, voice softer, I'm tired of pretending I don't want to be close to you. His breath caught. Just slightly. Just enough. He moved, not toward her but closer to the counter, giving her space even though every part of him clearly wanted to close the distance. Then tell me what you want from me, he murmured. Her heart thudded. I want the truth, she whispered. Why me? Why respond to that photo? Why show up? He didn't look away. Not for a second. Because something about you woke me up, he said. I saw you in that picture and it wasn't the lingerie. It was you. Her breath trembled. Your confidence, he continued. The softness you were trying to hide. The strength under your eyes. You looked like someone who deserved to be seen. And I saw you. Her pulse raced. I came to your door because I was curious. He stepped closer, slowly, gently. And then I stayed because I couldn't walk away. Ronk felt the room tilt. The dangerous man, the mafia boss feared across Los Angeles, looked at her like she was the only thing grounding him. She whispered, Junwoo? He stopped an arm's length away, waiting, always waiting now. Say the word, he murmured, voice low and warm. If you want me to stay, I'll stay. If you want space, I'll leave. Ronk stepped toward him. His breath hitched. Stay. Junwoo closed his eyes for a beat, as if that single word unraveled something deep inside him. When he opened them, warmth and desire flickered together. But he still didn't touch her. Ronk reached out first. Her hand touched his chest, slow, searching, feeling the steady, powerful beat beneath his shirt. He sucked in a breath. Ronk? He whispered, voice strained from holding back. You're not the only one who feels something, she said. His eyes softened, then darkened with emotion so deep it nearly stole her breath. You have no idea what you're doing to me, he murmured. Her fingers curled lightly into the fabric of his shirt. Junwoo's hands rose, slowly, like he was afraid to break the moment. May I? He asked. Ronk nodded. He placed his hands on her waist, warm, firm, reverent. Not possessive. Not demanding. Just hers. The tension between them snapped like a flame catching oxygen. He leaned down. She lifted her face. Their lips didn't meet. Not yet. He brushed the tip of his nose against hers, teasing, testing, holding himself back by a thread. Tell me to kiss you, he breathed. Ronk whispered, kiss me, Junwoo. He didn't hesitate anymore. His lips met hers, slow at first, deepening only when she pulled him closer. His hands slid to her lower back, her fingers curled around the back of his neck, and the kiss turned warm, then hot, then something breathtaking and new. Junwoo felt like fire shaped into a man, dangerous, gentle, consuming, controlled. He broke the kiss only long enough to whisper against her lips. I'm yours, Ronk, even if it ruins me. And he kissed her again. The night grew deeper, softer, warmer. Not rushed. Not reckless. Just two hearts finally choosing each other. Ronk woke first. The bedroom was dim, washed in a faint blue glow from the city lights filtering through her curtains. Her heart thudded softly as she blinked up at the ceiling, realizing she wasn't alone. Junwoo lay beside her, half awake, one arm draped around her waist like he'd fallen asleep, protecting her even in his dreams. His breathing was slow and steady, his body warm against hers. She hadn't meant to fall asleep in his arms. She definitely hadn't meant for him to stay the whole night. But he had. And somehow, it felt right. Ronk shifted slightly. His grip tightened instinctively. Don't run, he murmured, voice rough from sleep. Her cheeks warmed. I'm not running. He opened his eyes slowly, the dark warmth of them pulling her in immediately. For a long moment, they simply stared at each other. No danger, no fights, no fear. Just them. Good morning, he said softly. Her stomach dipped. How could a mafia boss say good morning, like it was a confession? She swallowed. Good morning. Junwoo brushed a thumb along her cheek, slow and gentle. You're staring. You're staring too, she whispered. His lips curved, not fully a smile but the ghost of one. A rare, precious expression she was starting to crave. Because I've never woken up with someone like you, he said. Her breath caught. Someone like me? Someone who makes me feel. He hesitated, actually hesitated. She waited. Safe. Ronk's chest tightened. You feel safe with me? Yes. His voice was low, honest. And that terrifies me. She didn't know what to say, so she didn't say anything. She just rested her forehead against his, letting the quiet speak for her. After a moment he sat up, stretching, the muscles under his shirt flexing with the movement. The sight was unfair. He glanced at her. Caught her staring. Heat rose to her cheeks. You're adorable when you're flustered, he teased gently. She threw a pillow at him. He caught it with one hand, effortlessly. Show off, she muttered. He chuckled, a deep, warm sound that filled the whole room. She froze. It was the first time she'd heard him laugh. And God, she wanted to hear it again. He stood and walked toward the kitchen. She followed, pulling her robe tighter around herself. Junwoo leaned against the counter, arms folded, gaze tracing every detail of her like she was the sunrise he wasn't expecting to see. Ronk, he said carefully, I need to tell you something. Her heart stilled. The soft shift in his tone warned her it wasn't simple. What is it? He looked away, not out of guilt but because the truth was heavy. My life, my world, it's not quiet. It's not peaceful. There are enemies. Responsibilities. People who would use you against me. She stepped closer. I already guessed that. I know, he said, meeting her eyes again. But knowing and living it are different. Ronk took a breath. Then tell me what living it looks like. He ran a hand through his hair. He was tense again, guarded, like old wounds were reopening. It means danger, he said. It means people watching us. It means I'll protect you with everything I have, but... She silenced him with a hand on his chest. Stop assuming I can't handle you, she said softly. His brows pulled together. It's not you I'm worried about. It's the world I come from. Ronk stepped even closer, almost chest to chest now. And what about what I want? She whispered. He froze. She lifted her chin. Her voice steady. Because I want you, Junwoo. Not the version you think I can handle. The real you. His breath hitched. The atmosphere shifted. Slow, warm, electric. He reached out carefully, his fingers brushing her jaw, then sliding to the back of her neck. Every touch was slow and reverent, like he was learning her all over again. You're going to ruin me, he whispered. Then let me, she whispered back. His forehead touched hers. Just as he leaned in, his phone buzzed sharply on the counter. He didn't move. Junwoo, she murmured, you should check it. I'd rather stay here, he whispered. But the phone buzzed again, twice, urgent. A muscle ticked in his jaw. He exhaled, reluctantly pulling away to look at the screen. His expression changed instantly, darkening, hardening, shifting back into the man feared across the city. What is it? Ronk asked. He slid his phone into his pocket, voice low and dangerous. There's a problem. Someone followed me last night. Her blood ran cold. What does that mean? He stepped to her, cupping her face gently, contrasting the storm in his eyes. It means someone saw me come here. It means you're not safe. Her heart dropped. What do we do? She whispered. For the first time since she met him. Junwoo looked genuinely worried. We leave, he said. Right now. Ronk swallowed hard. She wasn't just in his world anymore. His world was coming for her. Los Angeles shivered under a pale moon as Ronk and Junwoo moved through the darkened streets side by side. Her hand clutched his jacket, not tightly but enough to remind him she was there with him in a world that had no rules for people like them. The city lights reflected off the wet pavement. Somewhere in the distance, sirens wailed, a soundtrack to the danger that trailed them like a shadow. Where are we going? Ronk asked, her voice steady, even though her heart raced. To a safe place, he said, his eyes scanning the street ahead. I have someone who can keep us hidden for a few hours. Ronk glanced at him, the streetlights flickering across his sharp features. Even now, with danger looming, he looked unshakable, untouchable, magnetic. I hate that I'm scared, she whispered. But I don't want to let go of your hand. Junwoo's dark eyes softened. He stopped walking, lifting his hand to cup her cheek gently. You don't have to let go, Ronk. Not if you don't want to. Her breath hitched. Even if my world is messy, he continued, his thumb brushing her skin, even if it's dangerous, I want you with me. Not just tonight, not just while I protect you. I want you. Ronk felt a shiver run down her spine. You make it sound like I'm a choice, she whispered. You are, he said, the honesty in his tone nearly breaking her heart. The most important one I've ever had. For a moment, the world shrank to just the two of them, breath, heat, heartbeats, the dangerous rhythm of a life lived on the edge. But then a car door slammed in the distance. A figure stepped out, tall, black coat, movement deliberate. Stay behind me, Junwoo commanded, his hand sliding firmly to the small of her back. Ronk nodded, adrenaline flooding her veins. The figure approached and Ronk recognized the scar on his left cheek, the same one from the bouquet threat. Her stomach twisted. Junwoo moved like a shadow, silent and lethal. He positioned himself between Ronk and the man. Step back, the man sneered. You can't hide her forever. I don't need to hide her, Junwoo said calmly, voice low and deadly. Because I'll stop anyone who tries. The man lunged. In a heartbeat, Junwoo moved, blocking the attack, his movements precise, practiced, unstoppable. A brief struggle, a flash of danger, then it was over. The man sprawled on the pavement, groaning, defeated. Ronk's heart raced, fear and awe colliding in her chest. You could have been hurt, she cried, gripping his arm. He looked down at her, eyes softening immediately. I've been hurt before, he said, brushing a lock of hair from her face. But not tonight. Not while you're here. She swallowed hard. Junwoo, I don't know what I'd do without you. He cupped her face with both hands now, holding her like she was the only fragile thing he'd ever promised to protect. You'll never have to find out, he whispered. Then, leaning down, he pressed his lips to hers. Slow. The kiss spoke of relief, danger survived, and a promise that nothing in the world could tear them apart if they chose each other. Ronk melted into him, her fingers tangling in his hair. Every moment of fear, every heartbeat of danger, was suddenly electric with passion and trust. When they finally pulled apart, Jun-woo rested his forehead against hers. "I don't care about the threats, the enemies, or the city," he said. "All I care about is you, Ronk. And I'll fight anyone who tries to hurt you, until the last breath leaves me." Her chest tightened. "And I'll stay with you," she whispered. "Through it all. I don't care if it's dangerous. I want this. I want you." A rare, small smile tugged at the corner of his lips. "Then we have our choice," he murmured. "Together." And under the pale moon of Los Angeles, surrounded by shadows and threats, they held each other tightly, finally free to admit that the most dangerous thing in their lives wasn't the mafia wars or the enemies or the world outside. It was their hearts. And tonight they had chosen each other. The first rays of dawn filtered through the penthouse curtains, painting the room in a soft golden glow. Ronk lay in Jun-woo's arms, her head resting against his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. For the first time in days, maybe weeks, she felt safe. His arm tightened slightly around her shoulders as if sensing her tension even in sleep. "You're awake," he murmured, voice still husky from sleep. She replied, lifting her head just enough to look up at him. "You're alive." He smiled faintly. "Of course I am. I told you I always come back." She traced a finger along the line of his jaw, noticing the faint bruise forming near his temple. "You got hurt again." He exhaled, a slow, deliberate sound. "Minor. Nothing I can't handle." Ronk frowned. "That's not minor. You faced them for me, Jun-woo." Her voice faltered. He silenced her gently, brushing her hair behind her ear. "Chill. You don't have to thank me. Not ever. I do this because I care. Because I choose to." Her chest tightened at the weight of his words. "I choose you too," she whispered. He tilted his head, studying her with that piercing gaze that always made her heart stutter. Every day, she confirmed. A rare, soft smile tugged at his lips. He pressed a kiss to her temple, slow, intimate, reverent. For a moment, everything felt like it could stay this way. Peaceful. Simple. But then, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Ronk froze, instinctively reaching for it. Jun-woo's arm tightened around her, guiding her hand away from the screen. "Don't," he murmured. "It's not for you. Let it wait." Her fingers hovered above it. "But what if?" He cut her off, voice firm yet gentle. "Nothing that comes from them will matter while I'm here. Right now, stay with me. That's all that matters." Ronk exhaled, leaning into him. She rested her head on his chest, feeling the warmth of him, the strength of him, the undeniable pull that had kept her captivated since the very first accidental message. They sat in silence, wrapped in each other, until the sun rose fully over Los Angeles, bathing the penthouse in light. The city buzzed below, full of threats, chaos, and life that would soon demand their attention again. But for now, they had this moment. Jun-woo kissed the top of her head, low and possessive. "I won't let anything take you from me, Ronk. Not the world. Not my enemies. Not even fate itself." "I know," she whispered, her fingers tangling in his hair. "And I won't let you go either." He smiled faintly, closing his eyes. "Then we're even." Their fingers intertwined, hearts beating together, knowing that while the calm was temporary, their choice, this bond, was permanent. And as they held each other, Ronk realized, no matter what storm was coming, they would face it, together.